And trust me, that silence is louder than any words you could ever shout. Paragraph 7. Let me ask you this. Who controls you? Really think about it. If your mood can be hijacked by a single word from someone else, are you truly in control? If someone's petty action can send you spiraling, is that freedom? No, that's emotional slavery. And the first step to breaking free is learning to not react. It feels unnatural at first. You want to speak, you want to scream. But if you can pause, take a breath, and choose stillness, you're no longer dancing to their tune. You're writing your own music, and that is revolutionary. Paragraph 8. Psychologically, people who hurt others often do so to release their own pain. They project their suffering onto the nearest target, usually someone who they see as strong. Yes, that's right. They target strength, not weakness. Your light bothers their darkness. Your calm disrupts their chaos. And the only way they can feel powerful is by shaking you. But once you realize this, once you see their pain disguised as aggression, your perspective changes. You stop taking it personally. You stop reacting. You begin to see that their actions say more about them than about you. Paragraph 9. In relationships and friendships, even at work, you'll encounter people who will push your buttons just to see what happens. It's a test, not of your intelligence, but of your emotional discipline. Can you remain centered when attacked? Can you keep your tone steady, your eyes clear, and your words minimal? That's not coldness, that's maturity. People respect what they cannot rattle. The ones who stay grounded under fire become the ones everyone watches, admires, fears. And that doesn't mean you accept disrespect. It means you handle it with dignity so sharp it slices through their nonsense without a single word. Paragraph 10. Now you might be thinking, what if I stay silent and they think they've won? Good. Let them think that. Let them write their false narrative. Let them dance in a victory that doesn't exist. Because while they're celebrating illusions, you're building truth. You're building strength. You're building a version of yourself that no longer needs to react to feel powerful. Silence is not losing, it's leveling up. And when your time comes, when your growth shines, when your success roars, everyone who tried to break you will realize you never lost your voice. You simply saved it for something greater. Paragraph 11. When someone lashes out at you, they aren't always looking for a resolution. They're looking for a reaction. They're not trying to solve a problem. They're trying to create one in you. They want to see you flinch. They want to see that they've made you uncomfortable, made you question yourself, made you shift. But when you don't give them the fire they came for, they're left staring at their own reflection. That's terrifying for them, because your silence becomes a mirror and it reflects their pettiness, their immaturity, their chaos back at them. And most people can't handle that. They can handle arguments, but not stillness. They can handle noise, but not being ignored. Paragraph 12. Look at history. Look at the wisest people who ever lived. Do you think they reacted every time someone threw an insult their way? No, they were too focused, too rooted in purpose to be distracted by petty provocations. You don't see a mountain crumble when the wind howls. You don't see the ocean panic when it's stormed upon. These forces remain because they know what they are. Do you know what you are? Because the moment you truly know, you stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your worth to people who are too small-minded to see it. Silence isn't ignoring the pain, it's elevating beyond it. Paragraph 13. You're not weak for feeling hurt. You're human. But don't mistake reaction for healing. Reacting is often just a way to dump the pain, not transform it. True healing doesn't come from screaming, punching walls, or winning an argument. It comes from reflection. It comes from letting yourself hurt without letting the hurt own you. When you stay calm, you get to see clearly. You can analyze the situation instead of drowning in it. And from that clarity, you begin to detach. You begin to understand that what they said or did doesn't define you. It never did. Your response defines you. And if that response is maturity, calm, and silence, you've already won. Paragraph 14. Think about this. Every reaction gives birth to a new consequence. You argue back? Now there's tension. You insult them back? Now you've stooped to their level. You scream? Now they call you unstable. It's a trap. And the only way out is stillness. Imagine how powerful it is to not respond. To let their words hang in the air unanswered. To let them stew in the silence, wondering what you're thinking. That silence becomes their anxiety. That silence becomes your strength. And trust me, what you don't say echoes louder than anything you ever could have shouted. Paragraph 15. Let's go deeper. Psychologically, when you react instantly, you're acting from the most primitive part of your brain, the amygdala. That's your fight or flight zone. It's useful in danger, but dangerous in emotion. But when you pause, when you breathe, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the center of logic, awareness, wisdom. That pause is your weapon. That silence is your edge. And the people who master this, they become untouchable. You ever seen someone so calm under pressure that it actually unnerves the attacker? That could be you. Not because you're passive, but because you're in full command of yourself. Paragraph 16. Your peace is your most expensive asset. Why sell it cheap to someone who doesn't deserve a reaction? Every time you react to someone's nonsense, you're giving them a piece of you they haven't earned. Stop doing that. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Let them knock on the door all day. Don't answer. Let them talk behind your back. Don't turn around. Let them throw shade. Don't step into it. Your silence is not just absence. It's resistance. It's the refusal to let their darkness disturb your light. And one day they'll realize they never moved you. Not because you couldn't be moved, but because you chose not to be. Paragraph 17. Revenge isn't always retaliation. Sometimes the best revenge is no reaction. It confuses them, it haunts them, it makes them question everything. Why didn't they get mad? Why didn't they fight back? That silence eats away at their ego. Because people who try to hurt others are used to drama. They're addicted to chaos. When you don't play their game, you shatter the rules. They don't know what to do with that. They expected a fight and got a wall. They expected fire and got stone. They expected tears and got a smile. That's how you reclaim power. That's how you win without lifting a finger. Paragraph 18. You are not weak for walking away. You are wise. You are not a coward for staying silent. You are calculating. The world wants immediate action, but the wise don't move until the storm passes. The wise let others make noise while they build. While others gossip, you grow. While they shout, you evolve. And one day they'll look up and wonder how you became so powerful, so untouchable. And they'll never know it started the day you chose to stop reacting. The day you decided your peace wasn't worth sacrificing over people who thrive on drama. You took your power back, and you never looked back. Paragraph 19. If no one has ever told you this, let me tell you now. You don't know anyone in emotional performance. You don't need to cry to prove you're hurt. You don't need to yell to prove you're strong. You don't need to post about your betrayal to get validation. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is to feel the sting of betrayal and say nothing. Not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself more than proving a point. That's not pride. That's preservation. That's wisdom. That's grace. And it will carry you further than any reaction ever could. Paragraph 20. The next time someone hurts you, pause. Don't respond instantly. Don't let your emotions hijack your mouth. Just wait. Let that silence speak. Let that space protect you. Let it wrap around you like armor, because the ones who react instantly burn out fast. But the ones who pause, they rise, they grow, they become unshakable. Don't give them the gift of your reaction. Give them the silence of your strength. And in that silence, you will hear something else. Your power returning, your clarity rising, your peace whispering, we're still here, we're stronger now. Paragraph 21. Do you know why your silence scares them? Because they can't read it. They can't control it. People are comfortable when they can predict you, label you, manipulate you. But silence is dangerous, it's mysterious. It makes them question their impact. Did they hurt you? Did they fail? Are you planning something? They don't know. And that confusion eats at their ego. Your silence creates a storm in their mind. That's why it's the most powerful form of communication. You're speaking volumes without saying a word. You are showing them that not only did they fail to destroy you, but you won't even acknowledge them. Paragraph 22. Imagine someone pushes your buttons and nothing happens. That's how you disarm people. When they expect fire and they get a glacier, they don't know what to do next. Silence is not about pretending you're unaffected. It's about choosing not to let them control the narrative. It's about refusing to be pulled into their emotional chaos. Let them swing wildly at the air while you stay composed. Let them drown in the noise they created. You remain untouched, still, collected. That's not indifference, it's self-respect. You're saying you may have tried to hurt me, but you don't get to control me. Paragraph 23. Some people will try to test your limits just to see how far they can push. They'll insult you subtly, betray your trust quietly, embarrass you publicly. And the moment you react, they smirk. They've got what they wanted. That smirk should be your wake-up call. It's proof that this was never about misunderstanding. It was about control. And silence breaks that cycle. Silence tells them, you don't get to disturb my inner world. You are no longer a puppet to their provocations. You're no longer someone they can pull into emotional traps. You're someone who's leveled up. And they're up there. It's quiet, peaceful, and free. Paragraph 24, you're going to be misunderstood. That's life. But don't rush to explain yourself every time someone distorts your image. You don't have to clean up every lie told about you. You don't need to fix the version of you they created in their heads. Let them think what they want. Let them gossip. Let them invent their stories. The truth always finds its way. Your job is not to convince them. It's to keep walking. The ones who know you, really know you, won't need an explanation. And the ones who don't, they wouldn't believe the truth even if you screamed it from the rooftops. So save your energy. Paragraph 25. Think about how many arguments you could have avoided if you had just stayed quiet. How many nights you could have slept peacefully if you hadn't sent that angry text. How many relationships could have ended with dignity instead of destruction if you had chosen silence over chaos. Reaction feels good in the moment, but it comes with a cost. Words once spoken cannot be taken back. Actions done in anger become lifelong regrets. But silence gives you space, time, perspective. And sometimes after that space you realize it wasn't even worth responding to. It wasn't worth your peace. Paragraph 26. When someone hurts you, they expect a version of you to show up. The angry one, the sad one, the desperate one. Don't give them that satisfaction. Let a new version of you show up instead. The calm one, the healed one, the elevated one. The version that's too focused on building a future to wrestle with shadows from the past. That's how you change the narrative. That's how you transform pain into power. Not by reacting, but by rising. By becoming so emotionally intelligent they can no longer predict you. And when you become unpredictable, you become unstoppable. Paragraph 27. Let me tell you what silence really does. It keeps your dignity intact. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, the one who chooses not to speak becomes the loudest. You preserve your class, your maturity, your essence. People will watch you and wonder how you're so composed. They'll see the storms you walk through and ask, how did they not break? And the answer will be simple. You chose your response. You chose to rise above. You didn't need revenge. You didn't need drama. You didn't need validation. You just needed peace. And that decision made you untouchable. Paragraph 28. Sometimes silence is for your own healing. Not everything is about proving a point to someone else. Sometimes it's about giving yourself room to breathe, to cry without judgment, to think without noise, to grieve without interruption. When you go silent after being hurt, it's not because you're weak, it's because you're protecting your space. You're wrapping yourself in peace like a blanket. You're allowing the storm inside you to pass without anyone else throwing fuel into the fire. That silence becomes your sanctuary. It becomes the place where your heart repairs itself in peace. Paragraph 29. There will come a time when people who hurt you will look for a reaction, and all they'll find is your success, your joy, your glow. And they'll realize too late, they didn't break you. They didn't break you. They sharpened you. You didn't lose because you didn't speak. You won because you walked away. With your head high, your peace intact, your focus unshaken. Let that be your response. Let your silence turn into results. Let your growth answer every insult. Let your peace echo louder than their hate, because the most powerful clapback is thriving. While they're stuck in negativity, you're rising in silence. Paragraph 30. So the next time someone hurts you, remember this. You are not required to react. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to feel without performing. You are allowed to hurt in private and heal in silence. And above all, you are allowed to protect your peace at all costs, because you are not their toy. You are not their entertainment. You are not their emotional punching bag. You are your own master. And when you choose silence, you choose power. You choose clarity. You choose yourself. Never forget this. Your silence is not your weakness. It is your sword. Paragraph 31. The truth is, you owe no one your reaction. That's a luxury privilege. Not everyone should get to see your emotions spilled out on the floor. You're not a show. You're not a scene in someone else's drama, so when someone tries to provoke you, pause. Ask yourself, do they deserve a piece of me? Do they deserve to enter my world even through anger? Most of the time, the answer will be no, because some people throw stones not because they hate you, but because they hate themselves. They're not attacking you. They're projecting their pain, their failure, their insecurity. Don't catch their chaos. Paragraph 32. Silence isn't passive. It's powerful. It's not you doing nothing. It's you doing the most. It's you exercising controlled discipline and grace all at once. You're not hiding. You're commanding the energy in the room. Think of it. When someone tries to push you and you don't move, who looks weak now? Not you, them. Because silence shows they don't have control over you. And when people realize they can't shake you, they either respect you or they expose themselves trying harder. Either way, you win. Because now you're not in a fight, you're standing above one. Paragraph 33. How many people have said something cruel to you and you later thought, why did I even respond to that? That regret. That's your spirit telling you that your energy was too precious for that moment, that your value was too high for that exchange. You see, every time you react, you spend emotional currency. And the more you spend on worthless things, the poorer your peace becomes. So start saving. Start investing your energy in things that grow you, not drain you. Because silence doesn't mean you lost. It means you saved your soul from a battle that wasn't even yours to fight. Paragraph 34. They laughed at you, they betrayed you, they left you. Good. That was your wake-up call. That was the moment you realized what kind of people don't deserve your voice. Don't chase closure. Don't chase explanations. Don't chase people, let them go. And while they talk about you, let your silence build empires. Let your silence write your comeback story. Nothing confuses people more than someone who is expected to fall apart, but chose to glow up instead. You owe them nothing. But you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself peace, protection, and a future free from people who tried to break you. Paragraph 35. You know what real strength looks like? Sitting in a room full of people who tried to destroy your name and smiling. Not because you forgot, but because you refuse to be dragged down by their darkness. Not reacting doesn't mean you're okay with what they did. It means you're no longer tied to it. It means you cut the cord. It means you've healed, because you only react to what still owns space in you. So when your silence grows, it means you've taken your power back. You've cleaned the wounds, you've outgrown the pain. And now you're walking in light, untouched. Paragraph 36. People will push you just to feel powerful, because in their world, control is love, chaos is normal, pain is communication. But you're not living in their world anymore. You've built your own. And in your world, peace is power. Maturity is love. Silence is strength. They won't understand it at first. They'll call you cold, arrogant, distant. But don't flinch. That's their fear talking. Because people who can't manipulate you emotionally will always try to define you negatively. Don't bite. Let them keep their version of you. You stay committed to the truth. And in time, the truth will speak louder than any rumor ever could. Paragraph 37. There's a beauty in not needing to clap back. In not needing to set the record straight. Your life becomes the answer. Your results become the proof. Your joy becomes the reply. It's not about revenge. It's about transcendence. It's about rising so far beyond the situation that it no longer has the power to reach you. You've evolved. You've matured. You've found meaning in places they'll never understand. And you don't have to scream about it. You just live it in silence, with grace. And anyone wise enough will see it in your glow, in your peace, in your refusal to be anything less than divine. Paragraph 38. Do you want to stay in control of your life? Then guard your reactions like you guard your dreams. Don't hand over your peace because someone pressed the wrong button. Learn to disconnect emotionally when necessary. Not everything deserves your fire. Not every insult needs a reply. And not every argument is worth winning. You're here to build, not break. You're here to lead, not react. You're here to become someone whose presence is louder than their voice. Someone who speaks through action, through calm, through the unshakable silence of someone who knows who they are. Paragraph 39. Here's the truth. People watch how you react more than they listen to what you say. You could say the most powerful words, but if you crumble when tested, it's forgotten. But when you stay calm, composed, collected, you become unforgettable. Because calmness under fire is rare. People don't expect it. They admire it, even if they don't admit it. So build that muscle. Train yourself to pause before responding. Breathe before speaking. Think before moving. And if it's not worth it, say nothing. That discipline will protect you more than any defense ever could. Paragraph 40. One day, you'll look back on the moments you wanted to scream, cry, explode. And you'll be proud you didn't. You'll see how far you've come. You'll see the strength in your silence, the growth in your restraint, the power in your pause. You'll realize that reacting would have changed nothing, but remaining still, that changed everything. It gave you back your time, your peace, your self-worth. So never forget this. When someone tries to hurt you, you get to choose what that moment becomes. Let it be your trigger or your turning point. And when you choose silence, you choose freedom. You survive things that should have broken you. That alone makes you powerful. So when someone tries to hurt you now, remember, you've already faced worse. You've already healed from betrayals deeper than their words, so why let them shake you? Why let someone so small disturb a peace you earned through blood, tears, and sleepless nights? Don't give them that honor. When you choose not to react, you are reminding the universe, I am no longer ruled by pain. You are stepping into your higher self, into the version of you that knows peace is priceless, and no one gets to steal it again. Paragraph 42. Think about the times when you did react. Did it solve anything? Or did it only deepen the wound? Often reaction isn't strength, it's desperation. It's the last attempt to be seen, heard, felt. But once you've matured, you no longer need those things from the wrong people. You realize you are enough, even in silence. You realize peace is more powerful than attention. You realize that emotional stability doesn't make you boring. It makes you unbreakable. So choose differently this time. Choose peace, choose maturity, choose the kind of power that doesn't shout, it whispers, and yet shakes the room. Paragraph 43. You don't have to prove your pain to anyone. You don't have to scream, cry, or explain. Sometimes the loudest pain is carried in silence, but in that silence, something else begins to grow. Strength, depth, wisdom, the kind that doesn't react, because it understands the cost. It understands that hurting people hurt others, and that reaction only continues the cycle. But when you refuse to react, when you stop the bleeding within yourself without infecting the world, you become more than just healed. You become whole. And that version of you? That version glows in a way no reaction ever could. Paragraph 44. Let your growth be your loudest response. Let your healing be the thing they never expected, because when they hurt you, they thought it would end you. They thought you'd fall apart. But you didn't. You evolved, you learned, you rose. And now you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Quietly, powerfully, fully. The beauty of not reacting is that your life becomes your statement. Your elevation becomes your answer. So the next time they expect rage, give them calm. When they expect you to break, show them how gracefully you bend. Because nothing is more intimidating than someone who refuses to be broken. Paragraph 45. You know what's stronger than revenge? Peace. You know what's louder than anger? Progress. When someone hurts you and you respond with silence and self-improvement, you become a force they cannot fight. They can't argue with your growth. They can't dismiss your glow. They can't silence your results. You become undeniable. Not through retaliation, but through excellence. That's the strategy now. Not to fight, but to evolve. Not to react, but to rise. To become so immersed in your purpose that their noise becomes irrelevant. That's how you win now. Not through war, but through wisdom. Paragraph 46. People will say you're too quiet, too calm, too distant. Let them talk. They don't understand the discipline it takes to not react. They don't know what it costs to hold your peace. Let them misinterpret your silence. Let them underestimate your calm. You owe them no explanation. Because while they're busy assuming, you're busy ascending. You're not silent because you're weak. You're silent because you're building, growing. Healing, choosing yourself over chaos, that's silence, that's power. And real power never announces itself. It just arrives, complete and unstoppable. Paragraph 47. There will come a day when someone tries to provoke you, and you won't even flinch. Not because you don't feel, but because you've mastered the art of choosing peace. You'll look at them, and instead of anger, you'll feel pity. Because you'll see how trapped they are. By ego, by insecurity, by pain. And you'll walk away, not to avoid conflict, but to protect your peace. That moment will be your graduation. The moment you knew you'd outgrown the need to defend yourself. That's not weakness, that's transformation. That's what becoming unshakable really looks like. Paragraph 48. If only you knew how many people crumble because they can't get a reaction out of you. That's silence. It messes with them. It forces them to sit with their actions. And the longer you stay silent, the more it screams at them. Not because you're trying to punish them, but because you're choosing yourself. Silence is not revenge. It's rebirth. It's the moment you decide your peace is more valuable than their attention. Let them guess what you're thinking. Let them wonder how you're so calm. That's how you win. Not by shouting, but by thriving in a silence they'll never understand. Paragraph 49. You didn't come this far just to be pulled back into petty battles. You've built too much to risk it for someone's moment of immaturity. You've healed too deeply to bleed for a comment, a look, a rumor. Stay in your power. Stay in your lane. Keep your focus. Not reacting isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. The world needs more people who can remain calm in the chaos. Be that person. Be the one who knows their worth so well They don't need to fight for it. Be the one who walks away not because they lost, but because they refuse to lose themselves. Paragraph 50. So the next time someone hurts you, don't let them see you break. Don't let them hear your pain through screams. Show them something greater. Show them stillness. Show them grace. Show them grace. Show them strength so quiet it shakes their soul. And if you ever doubt the power of not reacting, look at your own growth. Look at how far you've come. Look at the peace you now protect like treasure. That's your power now, not in words, not in revenge, but in silence, in elevation, in becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive hurt, but transforms through it. Quietly, fiercely, unapologetically.